Good morning. I wanted to quickly come in to just tell you a little bit about depression and describe it a little bit and some symptoms and stuff and see where you're at, what you're feeling, and if you are experiencing some of these things that you might consider talking to a therapist and trying to figure things out. So, as far as depression, sometimes you don't see it. People can mask it very well. So, being under the understanding that you're not always going to see someone depressed, you may see them smiling and laughing and joyful, and it does not mean that they're not going through some depression symptoms. It doesn't define them, it just means that they're going through something that is causing symptoms of depression within them, and they're not able to manage or get through those symptoms by themselves. So, as far as depression, the way someone with depression acts is that they would have the tendency to isolate socially. They would have a decreased physical activity. They would have or not engage in things that were once fun or enjoyable or interesting. They may be more argumentative and they may be avoidant or overly protective. These are some of the symptoms of how people act when they're in depression. It doesn't mean they have all of them, they may have some of them, but it's something to look out for. So pay attention even if your children are acting in this way because you want to see what's going on and maybe talk with them about it. How your body reacts is you may have difficulty falling or staying asleep or be restless or get up at some point in the middle of the night and not be able to go back to bed. Just that difficulty in sleeping or changes in sleeping patterns. You may have poor or excessive appetite. You may either notice that someone is eating too much or too little. They may have a weight gain or weight loss. So you do want to pay attention to if there is some drastic changes or just changes in general. Something someone is doing that they never did before, that change as far as sleeping and eating habits. And there may be fatigue, not by itself because a lot of other conditions causes fatigue, but with depression there is this fatigue and exhaustion that comes upon people and they just want to stay sleeping all day. So if you do notice that excessive sleeping or not enough sleeping is something to look out for. And how do you think? A person with depression is going to have hopelessness, doesn't always have to lead to suicidal thoughts, but they may have suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations, or sometimes just wish they want to either get in a car and crash into a tree, or just have thoughts in general, not necessarily that they will kill themselves, but they wish they were better off dead instead of alive. And they may make comments as such, feeling that there's no hope, that there's not going to be any changes to what they're experiencing. There may be persistent negative thoughts about themselves, about the world, or about the future. So if they're constantly in that thought process of thinking and expressing those negative thoughts, that's something to look out for. Low self esteem. Just because whether it was because of ingrained thoughts or bullying or something else that they're going through that really puts their confidence level at an all-time low and not thinking highly of themselves. That's something to check into, and that comes with insecurities. So when someone is feeling insecure, have low self-esteem, begin to feel that they're not satisfied with their external appearance. They're not satisfied with who they are. They may be confused of even who they are. They may have identity confusion or identity crisis going on. So you want to be aware of that. There may be a lot of pessimism and there may be a lot of worry thoughts that keeps them anxious as well. Because when we worry about the future, and those things keeps us anxious and keeps us depressed. And the way that they may feel is they may feel sad. They may have crying spells, just crying all the time or crying often. They may feel a sense of guilt or shame. They may lack motivation or have low motivation. They may feel numb, like nothing really matters. They can't seem to find that joy in life anymore. They can't find a reason to smile anymore. They may feel anxious or worried, like I said before. They may feel irritable. They may have anger or show anger as a surface emotion when there's a lot of unprocessed feelings inside of them. And there may be the lack of ability to enjoy things. They might have enjoyed doing things before. They might have been interested in things before, but they no longer do that. When they socially isolate, they used to, love to socialize or go out or have friends or talk to friends, and they don't do that anymore. Someone that stays more indoors and doesn't seem to go outdoors is something to look out for. So all of these things is not limited to just these things, but I just wanted to give you a heads up of if you're experiencing any one of these things on a consistent basis, and you're concerned that potentially you might be falling into a depressive state, definitely talk to someone, a professional, a pastor, a professional, a leader, an elder, someone that you trust, that is supportive and that may help you through the journey you're going through. And if it's something that you need more in a professional sense, definitely seek a therapist, a counselor that can help you through whatever you're going through. So God bless you. Have a good day. And until my next nugget, take care. Bye bye.